Okay.
The principles that you've learned, you implement daily, and the like forgiveness exercises and the things that are really challenging.
Fair enough.
It's like,
But
and
that's
obviously there's people that have never done freedom sessions that are doing a lot of this stuff anyways. But yeah, it's Marie and I were just talking about that, how it's like, man, especially when you're going to preach it, you're going to stand in front of people and proclaim, you better be prepared to at least, obviously going to fail miserably, but at least try to.
But you, from the even last year,
it's not near the amount of work and it's not even as if you facilitate, it's not near the amount of work that it is.
Yeah, because you're not facilitating either anymore, right?
I wasn't last year. This year, I think I might even have to because there's a lot of people signed up. There's like 55 people signed up already for the info night.
Okay, I thought you had enough guys,
and we have
but
less
not.
Facilitators.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. So.
Okay. You got anything you want to talk about?
Lots of stuff.
Huge
lots
list.
of stuff. I could talk about all kinds of stuff. Did I put the real estate market update on there? I never put it on there. We never talk about real estate. I'm a realtor.
What about Charlie Kirk? You don't want to talk about that?
Oh, we can talk about that. I actually, all the people that listen to this, a lot of them follow Charlie Kirk really closely, and his organization. I was not well versed at all. So super tragic. Now this will come out a week after. I was at the border crossing cows, and I was on Twitter waiting for the vet to show up, and I'm like, wow. And then I didn't do any homework until today, actually, because I thought we might talk about it. And then I listened to, and I have the clip, and it'd be a clip worth listening to. It's a very interesting clip. Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick McDavid.
Yeah. I'm assuming he's a Christian.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he a Christian nationalist?
Depends how you define that.
Okay.
But I would say in probably the same way that Charlie Kirk was. But Charlie Kirk also switched quite a bit. Like, so he wasn't a Christian when he started Turning Point USA. And he actually
As a young guy, he was
actually thought that Christian conservatism actually was a hindrance to the movement of conservatism growing in the United States.
Which is an interesting concept.
Yeah. Okay. And then in later years, he came to faith, and it actually started massively influencing and going into his content and at universities and stuff like that too, where he really started promoting that's ultimately what he lived for. Yeah. And
I think the thing that bothers me, and this is just or bothers me, a strong word, but I guess I wonder, like, we tend to like really galvanize around certain moments, and obviously this is like a public thing, and you and Matt talk about it on your podcast, just getting into it. So I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I feel like, man, there's a lot of injustice, and I posted a clip, and it's an awful, awful story. I wouldn't even read it on here in case somebody had their kids with them, but like of a little 8-year-old that was abused by her mother until she died a few days later, and then they tried to hide the body, put it in a bag in Edmonton recently. And the reason I posted it it was just interesting because, well, first of all, we're foster parents, and so we're dealing with, we're hearing of these things, and that's not an isolated case. Like, it does happen. It happens here too. Yeah. It never goes public because you wear first of all, there's just the privacy issues around the family and the kids don't, whatever. There's those things that the children need to be protected from. But then also every organization, because of litigation and because of lawsuits and because of the way people, like, it's fascinating how, our whole childhood, we're like, hey, you're taught to be like, hey, just own your wrongs and make things right. And, like we say to our kids, like, no matter what you do, just say you did it. Like, the consequences, the worst thing you can do is become a deceptive, dishonest person.
Lie,
right? It's just a disaster.
Actually, yesterday, Peter did something wrong. He broke something, and I asked him if he did it, and he's like, yeah, I did it. And a couple of minutes later, he's like, I wasn't like Eve, Dad. Like, blaming.
Oh, I see. Just owned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you get, like, in a government situation, especially where, somebody has to take the fall, but, there's all this issue around, like, court cases and stuff where things can't be shared. Things just don't typically even come to light sometimes, like really awful things. That's
the majority of things don't come to light.
Fair enough. That's a fair statement. The majority, and it's like, hey, we can't live in, and that's part of the problem with social media and the way that we consume information now. Like, horrible things, like just finished reading through Ecclesiastes, horrible, there's nothing new under the sun. Horrible things have happened since the beginning of time. And because of the way we live and consume information on our phone, we're way too in touch, especially with the tragic things, because the tragic things are clickable things, right? And so,
but I think it also
that's a problem.
Brings into reality what's already there. right? Like the fact is this is a super broken world, and we're just seeing more of it more clearly now, and it's something we actively resist to like face. I'm doing a freedom session remotely with a guy right now,
Yeah.
and just going through the different chapters, and the one is closet inventory, which is of course like not taking any secrets to the grave,
Mm-hmm.
and just talking about them openly. And so I shared some of the things that I had done as a kid and in older years that I feel the most shame around, and I was. I think it's important to share those things, because then we can actually, it forces us to face who we actually are and what we're capable of. And we try never to think about those things anymore and bury them as deep as possible. But that's also society as a whole. We don't actually want to admit that it is as bad as it actually is, right? Like we resist, like even like, a couple of years ago, there was that movie that came out against against sex trafficking and stuff like that. Like I can't go watch it. Trevor always gives me crap that I should just go watch it and face it, but I'm just like I can't. But that's the reality. Like it is desperately broken and wicked world, and desperately need of Jesus. And I've just been praying, especially in the last couple of days, like or the last days, like come Jesus, come quickly, like redeem this world, like come back, because it is, man, it's bad out there.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. So interestingly enough, in that case, it was in Edmonton, where the child was killed, and then they eventually lowered the plea. They did a plea deal, and it went public now. A plea deal to manslaughter, which I think the most jail time the person would face is 8 years. And the Edmonton Police Union or Force or whatever the body is that was, working on this case, they went public frustrated, which of course never happens. And they are actually shamed now after their press conference they did. The Crown went public and started shaming them and say, hey, like this is not proper protocol. We're supposed to be independent. You're supposed to let us do our job. We know the facts of the case. We want to lay the toughest charges we can while still getting a conviction, which there's truth to that. But then I would answer to that, hey, our justice system is just broken.
Beyond broken.
Beyond broken. And so it's interesting. I saw the lady that did the press conference, and I just sent her an email last night, some police lady in Edmonton. And interestingly enough, she sent me an email thanking back this morning. But I think that's the role that we as Christians can humbly, quietly do, is just encourage good things, stand for truth in our own lives. Not all of us are going to stand in front of a podium in front of thousands of people speaking truth and take the bullet. But like most of us aren't even prepared to like be shamed a little bit in our own backyard.
Yes, exactly.
By somebody thinking, hey, these people are, and it doesn't need to be shaming. It can be just, we can do a lot with love and just being winsome and being kind, but also like stand for truth. And I guess where I was going when I talked about the amount of content being talked about in relation to this horrible assassination, it's like, hey, I look at it, and I read an article from Jonathan Van Maren today. A lot of people would be familiar with his stuff. Great writer, gifted writer, and he talks just even about like abortion, how Charlie Kirk was fighting for that too. But like most of us are not that fired up about the fact that millions of babies are being murdered. And there again, it's secretive, it's quiet. Nobody's posting on the social media that they're doing it, but we all know it's happening. It's something really tragic. People probably listening to this have had an abortion, and just like all of our sins, they it's things that we do wrong. They can be forgiven, right? Yeah. There's lots of grace there, but I think it's just that idea of like we pick our things, we get fired up, and I think we as Christians, I look at it very holistically and think, hey, is there areas where we are, where we probably should just be taking a bit of a more serious look about the ways that we in our own lives can influence change, right? Rather than hanging our hat or our hope on, some well-known famous person. Like we all have a responsibility to be outspoken or outspoken is maybe not the right way to say it, but you know what I mean, right? Just take a stand for truth. And are we doing that?
We should hang our hope on Christ. We should deal with our own crap first. I mean, that's how we're going to influence people the most, right? Like
that's what Patrick said really well. It's an 11-minute clip.
Right. I don't know. I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, it's worth listening to. I thought it was really well said, where it's like, we're not going to lose the war. Like the war, like ultimately
Jesus won.
He won. So it's over, and we have a victory. And I think that we often fight from.
Hey guys, if you enjoy that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.